For generations, humanity argued about how ancient civilizations built structures like the pyramids. How did they move 2 to 70-ton stones with no machinery? How did they cut granite, one of the hardest stones on Earth, with microscopic precision? How did they align structures to constellations with accuracy we still struggle to match today? And most importantly, why were these structures engineered with such complexity that even modern technology can barely replicate them? For a long time, the modern world assumed primitive tools because it couldn't imagine ancient civilizations being more advanced than us. But as quantum physics enters mainstream awareness, and as more people awaken to the reality of energy, vibration, and consciousness, the picture becomes clearer. They weren't primitive. They were operating on principles we're only beginning to remember. Stones placed with tolerances tighter than modern skyscrapers. Its very location carries the exact numbers of the speed of light, as if the builders were leaving a cosmic signature. Chambers tuned to specific resonant frequencies, locations mapped on Earth's energy grid with mathematical perfection, global structures showing similar engineering across continents. None of this is primitive. None of this points to ropes, ramps, or brute force. It points to something else entirely. A civilization that understood consciousness as a technology. A civilization that tapped into laws of the universe we are just rediscovering. Resonance, coherence, vibrational manipulation, the zero-point field, alignment with Earth's energetic nodes. Once you understand that the zero-point field exists and that consciousness can interface with it, the old questions dissolve. How did they move the stones? How did they build what our most advanced machinery barely can? Because suddenly the answer isn't about muscles, it's about awareness. But here's the part most people never consider. The pyramids weren't just structures, they were reminders. Markers left for a future humanity, proof of what consciousness is capable of when a civilization is coherent, aligned, and awake. Because ancient cultures knew something we forget. Civilizations rise and civilizations collapse, but consciousness continues. So they left behind something no war, no flood, no empire, and no rewrite of history could erase. Something that would survive every timeline reset. Something humanity would eventually be forced to confront. A question bigger than archaeology. If they could do this, what else were they capable of? And deeper than that, what have we forgotten? Because that's the real purpose of these structures. Not to tell us how they were built, but to tell us who built them. Not to recreate the method, but to remember the level of consciousness required. And that alone tells you we are not the peak of human development. We are the beginning of a remembering. The ancients were not behind us. In many ways, they were ahead.